Hello everyone. We have already derived equations of motion by graphical method, which you had studied in class 9 also. And now that you are familiar with the concepts of differentiation and integration, we are using the concepts of calculus to derive the equations of motion by calculus method. So we have already studied what are those four equations of motion. Three are the basic equations of motion for uniformly accelerated motion. Fourth one is distance traveled in nth second. Now for that, we know that we had a general case where we had considered this motion to start from 0 and at some point the body reached. At that point the initial position from the origin was x0 and at that time the initial velocity is u and time was considered to be 0 at this point, right? I had taken the example of the nearby grocery store. Suppose this is your grocery store and then we considered that you kept on moving on the straight line to reach a mall. Not reach a mall, you are crossing that mall, I would say, because you are still having that particular velocity v at that time when the time elapsed is t, right? And at this position, its position with respect to the origin is considered as x. So if we consider that how much distance is travelled between time is equal to 0 to time t, then this will be x naught minus x minus x naught, final minus initial, and this can be replaced by the distance travelled in time t. And why this velocity is changing from initial to final? We are considering this motion to be uniformly accelerated motion, right? So while deriving this, we'll keep this position in mind because we'll be using the concepts of calculus, right? So now our first equation of motion, what is our first equation of motion? First equation of motion is v is equal to u plus at, right? So if we talk about this equation, we know that acceleration is what? This is dv by dt, right? Now we know that when we have to find velocity from acceleration, we can cross multiply simply. This is what a dt is equal to dv. And if I want to find out the velocities, so I can integrate both the sides, right? So if I integrate both the sides, I'll have to put an integration sign on both the sides. Now, one very important thing, here we are using definite integral. Why definite integral? Because we are using this journey, and in this journey 2 points are important. So we are limiting our observation from time 0 to time t, initial velocity u to final velocity v, and distance travelled from 0s to complete distance travelled during this duration s, right? So here we know that these are equations for uniformly accelerated motion. So first important thing is that a, because this is a constant acceleration, so it has to be kept outside the integral sign. Second thing, the quantity with respect to which we are integrating, we have to put the limits of that quantity. So look at this. This quantity is dt here. So here which limits I have to put? I am observing the motion from this point to this. So for time, what are the limits? Lower limit is 0 and the higher limit is t, right? And if I am talking about velocity, here this is integrated with respect to velocity, right? So for velocity, lower limit is u and final limit is v, right? So is that clear? Now this a is uniformly acceleration, uniform acceleration, because these equations are for uniformly accelerated motion. So a can be kept outside the integral sign and this can be written like this. Right? Now we know what is the integration of dt. So a is a constant which will remain as it is. What is the integration of dt? Integration of dt is t. Now this is the lower limit, this is the upper limit, and here on right side integration of dv is v, and upper limit is v and lower limit is u. We know how to solve definite integral. We put the value of upper limit for that variable first and then subtract the lower limit value. So this way, instead of t, for t first we are writing t, and then for t we are writing 0, right? And on right side for v we are writing upper limit first, then subtract. For v we are writing u. So this gives us at is equal to v minus u. Therefore, v is equal to u plus at. U plus at. So this derives our first equation of motion by calculus method. Now let's take the second equation of motion. So what is our second equation of motion? Second equation of motion is S is equal to ut plus half at square, right? So from here we can start its derivation by using this. V is equal to rate of change of displacement. Straight line motion, one line motion, so displacement and distance are same in this case. So if we cross multiply it, this will be v dt is equal to ds. So I am keeping this as ds on left side because I have to derive the formula for distance traveled in a second. So this will be cross multiplied, and if I integrate it, I have to integrate on both the sides. Now look at the expression. We don't want the final velocity, we just don't want this final velocity in this expression, right? So we can simply do one thing, that we have to use this in terms of time because we are integrating with respect to time. So left side will keep as it is. For right side, first I will replace it from first equation of motion, v is equal to u plus at, and then I will apply the limits, right? So this way, now look at this distance. What is the lower limit for distance? This distance starts from here. Distance traveled in t time. So this distance is 0 to s. Now time limits. Time limits are 0 to t. If this is clear, the derivation is not at all difficult. Now what is the integration of ds? This will be s, right? And then we will put the limits. On right side, I can break this into two parts. So I can increase one step here. This is u dt and limits again 0 to t because we are integrating with respect to t, plus integration at dt. So a can be kept outside as a is uniform acceleration. So this is at dt. This is again 0 to t. Now let's solve this. Initial velocity. So let's increase one more step here, beta. It will be easy for you to understand then. This is at I am taking here, right? And on right side, this u can be kept outside because initial velocity is constant. this will always remain same. At time t is equal to 0, initial velocity is u only. So u integration 0 to t dt plus a is also constant. So a can also be kept outside the integral sign. So this gives us this. So this is upper limit minus lower limit, right? So for this as upper limit is put first and then subtraction sign, and lower limit is put for this s value. So u, what is the integration of dt? This is t. Then again I have to apply the limits plus a as it is t to the power 1 x to the power n. The integration is x to the power n plus 1 upon n plus 1. So here this is t to the power 1. So the integration will be t to the power 1 plus 1 upon 1 plus 1. Right? And limits will be 0 to t. So I can write it directly t square upon 2. Right? So this will be t square upon 2. So here left side is s is equal to u, upper limit is t minus lower limit is 0 plus a, 2 can be taken outside, and here upper limit is t square minus lower limit is 0. So 0 square again. So this gives us, if we solve it, what will be our expression? This will be ut plus half a t square. So this is our second equation of motion. I hope you understood. So let's do the third equation of motion now, right? So what is third equation of motion? You all know that the third equation of motion is v square is equal to u square plus 2as, right? So let's first write down the third equation of motion. This is v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Now what is the derivation? Derivation, we will start from a is equal to dv by dt. Now we have studied in chain rule, and even if you don't remember the chain rule, we can do one thing. We can multiply and divide this by ds. So that way we can rearrange it and we can write it like this, no problem, right? Now acceleration will be dv upon ds as it is, and ds upon dt, rate of change of distance. This quantity can be written as v, right? So I can cross multiply this. This will be a ds is equal to v dv, right? Now here I need to put the limits of which quantity? Distance. So distance limits are 0 to s. And if I am integrating this side also, because integration is always done on both the sides, so velocity limits will be u to v. So this is u to v. So these are the limits for the velocity. Now a will be kept outside the integral sign. You remember this because a is uniform. So this can be written 0 to s. ds is equal to u to v and v dv. So integration of ds is s. We will put the limits, and integration of v is v to the power 1 plus 1 upon 1 plus 1. So I can write this v square upon 2, and then I can put the limits, right? So the next step I can write here is left side is a, upper limit is s, lower limit is 0, right? Because we have to replace the upper limit first and then subtract the lower limit by putting the value here. Now here this is 1 by 2 can be kept outside, Now upper limit is, for v we are writing v, so this is v square. Then for v we are writing the lower limit. So this is v square minus u square. If I cross multiply, this will be 2as is equal to v square minus u square, and this gives us v square is equal to u square plus 2as. So this is our third equation of motion, right? Though the derivation of the fourth equation of motion is not frequently asked in the exams, but still we can do this. That is not difficult one. So we can do that also. So for the fourth equation of motion, what is the fourth equation of motion? Distance travelled in nth second is equal to u plus a by 2, 2 and minus 1, right? So what will be our derivation? Our derivation will be based on this formula. V is equal to ds upon dt, right? So if I take this, v dt is equal to ds, right? And integrate on both the sides, right? I don't want final velocity here, so I can write here v is equal to u plus at from equation 1. So I can write u plus at dt is equal to d as integration. Again I am using definite integral. So let's first take this u dt plus at dt is equal to integration of ds. Now limits. Time limits 0 to t. Time limits again 0 to t from the figure, and distance limits 0 to s from the figure. Now, time limits we don't have to put 0 to t. Time limits we have to put in terms of, we have to find the distance travelled in nth second. So what is the final time? We know the concept of nth second, that if this is the distance travelled in n seconds and if this is the distance travelled in n minus 1 second. So this is final time. And this is initial time. So what are the limits of time? We have to find the distance travelled in nth second. So what will be our final time? Our final time will be n and initial time will be n minus 1. So this way we can put this n minus 1 to n. And distance will obviously be distance travelled in n minus 1 seconds and distance travelled in n seconds. So what will be the limits of the distance? This is applicable to this time and this is applicable to this time. So what is the limit of distance? S n minus 1 to S n, and time is from n minus 1 to time n. If this concept is clear, it is not difficult. So this way you can find this u dt plus at dt, integral sign, this will be n minus 1 to n, this will be n minus 1 to n, and this will be equal to ds, and this will be s n minus 1 s n. This will be s n minus 1 s n. So to understand these limits, this is very important figure. And if you still did not understand, I can make a bigger figure. So this is distance in n seconds and time taken is n seconds. And suppose this is distance in n minus 1 seconds and the time is n minus 1 seconds. T initial and this is T final. So this is distance initial and this is distance final. So our limits will be like this, right? So let's put the values after integrating. So this u is taken outside the integral sign. Integration of dt we have to find. This is n minus 1 to n plus a outside the integral sign t dt. This is n minus 1 to n and this is equal to ds Sn minus 1 to Sn. So ds ka integration is S. This is Sn minus 1. This is u. Integration of dt is how much? T. So I am writing the limits now. Thus a, what is the integration of t? This is t square upon 2 and here the limits n minus 1 to n. So this is equal to this. Now u. Upper limit n minus lower limit. For t we are writing n minus 1 plus a, right, upon 2. I can keep this outside. So t is n square minus n minus 1 whole square. And distance of n minus distance of n minus 1. This means distance travelled in nth second. So distance n minus distance n minus 1. So distance n minus distance n minus 1 gives distance in nth second. That means fourth. As we discussed previously, if distance travelled in fifth, 5 seconds, distance travelled in 4 seconds, these are subtracted, then we get distance travelled in fifth second. This we have taken as example. So this, if we solve, u, this is cancelled. This is 1, only 1 will remain, and here a by 2, and when we solve it, this will be 2n minus 1. So this gives us the expression, fourth equation of motion. This is equal to distance travelled in nth second, right? So that's all about the equations of motion by calculus method. The only thing which is important here is that when you are integrating it and when you are putting the limits, then you have to remember and recall this straight line motion, that what is the initial limit and what is the final limit. Like in case of fourth equation also, we have to take the limits from last second to last to previous second, right? That's all for now.